Good
Good evening,
evening.
everyone. Good evening, Tita Tess. How are you?
Good evening, MJ. It's nice to see you again.
I know. And good evening to all our viewers. Welcome again to another episode of the Biz Talk. And of course, my name is MJ, and I'm one of your co hosts. And my very beautiful co host for tonight, of course, Tita Tess Tuazon. How are you, po? And we are
Uh,
live. We are live on
we are
Facebook.
live, and here we are with our
Facebook.
special guest.
That's right. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. And of course, our show is brought to you by Philippine American Chamber of Commerce, Greater Houston Region, and Roof Chamber Radio Pinoy. Di ba, Tita Tess? How have you been?
I've just been staying home and staying away from the heat.
I know it's
And
really hot. Yeah, and of course, if you miss our live show tonight, where they can listen to us, Tita Tess.
they can listen to us on YouTube and all the other stations that we are available. So don't miss, if you miss this broadcast, you still have a chance to listen to us again.
Yeah, you can listen in our to our recording available on Apple Podcast, Listen Notes, Google Notes, Spotify, Pocket Casts, and Overcast. But of course, we would love for you to join us live because if you are live with us, you can actually shoot us any question. If you have questions or just any shout out to the show, you can certainly do that. And we truly, truly encourage you to participate in our show. Yeah, so I'm excited for tonight, Tita Tess, because we have a very, very special guest. I bet you know this person, right?
Of course, it's
Mhm,
none other than Miss Ellen Samson
mhm,
of COFAC. That's the Coalition of Filipino American Chambers of Commerce here in the US.
mhm. All right, Miss
Ellen.
Ellen, welcome to the show. O- Okay, we're. It looks like yeah.
Can
Oh,
we unmute?
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, yeah. Now,
Okay, there you go. You're now.
yeah, you can hear me now.
We
Now
can
you
hear
Hello,
are.
you now.
hello,
That's
hello,
right.
guys.
Yeah. But before we get to talk to you, Tita Ellen, or I'm just gonna say
Yeah,
Ate
Tita Ellen
or
is
Miss
okay.
Ellen, or yeah, I think we should mention about our past events with the chamber recently, Tita
Yes.
Tess.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I see you there. Can you talk about this event that you went to?
This is, which one is this?
Oh, it's the ribbon cutting and open house of Congresswoman Liz
Oh, this
Fletcher.
is the ribbon cutting at the
Yeah.
office of Congressman Lizzie Fletcher.
Mm-hmm.
And we were joined by Eileen, Ate Margarita,
Mm-hmm.
and some other chamber members. And that was a that was a fun one because I think they had to expand their offices. They have one in Houston. Now they have one in Sugarland,
Mm-hmm.
and they just want to be able to keep in touch with the people that they're serving. So that's the office of Congressman Lizzie Fletcher.
Wow, that's nice. And also we had our recent speaker series, right? There you go. With
There you go.
mm-hmm.
And our friends from the Small Business Bureau uh, hosted. I mean, yeah, hosted our speaker series again, and all our uh, partners and members were so happy to learn how to get financing for their programs or for their business.
That's good. And it was yeah, it was done by Mr. Daniel Liu, right?
Our
Yeah.
very own Daniel Liu.
Yeah, that's
Indeed.
yeah, I missed it again because I have this other activity that conflicts with the speaker series, but I'm hoping I'm going to be able to attend the others. And of course, we thank the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce. Some of our members attended the Outstanding Filipino Nurse Gala and Awards Night. So thank you so much for your support, Attorney Eileen, and of course Tita Tess. I bet you have fun there. And I did you enjoy the food?
Oh, that was great. And I actually met with the chef and the manager, and I gave him the compliments.
Well, that's great. And we truly appreciate you as one of the community partners of Philippine Nurses Association of Metro Houston. So thank you so much. I think we are now have to talk about or talk to our very special guest, Miss Ellen. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Um, thank you for inviting me
Mm-hmm.
in this program. I am really, really indebted and excited,
Mm-hmm.
excited to meet you guys. And um, well, I am just, Ellen here. I am a geriatric care manager and I'm an internationally certified dementia practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my lifelong work is more on helping people and particularly among seniors, helping families navigate the challenges of caring for somebody with dementia and
Mm-hmm.
how to prepare for it. And it's more my advocacy on the awareness of the disease and helping people, particularly families and communities,
Mm-hmm.
waver through that very, very challenging phase in their lives. So I hope to be of help to everyone.
Well, you're doing great for the community because I know how challenging it is to have first and foremost to have that disease, let alone the challenge that it brings to the family members or the caretakers. So you doing this education and bringing awareness to the community, I bet really helps. So
Yes.
we salute you for that. And actually, I was very pleased to have met you in person in the recent, national convention for the Coalition of Filipino American Chamber of Commerce, right? So
Yes, yes.
it has been an honor. So to meet you in person. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
So other
also during the conference, I mean, yeah, the convention, her uh, she had an afternoon of just talking uh, about her specialty, and that's dementia.
Mhm,
And you should have seen the number of people that attended.
mhm.
We had to pull chairs from other rooms in
Mm-hmm.
order to accommodate all of them.
Yes,
It, it's
yes,
really, it is really welcome by the community because a lot
yes,
of people need to learn how to deal with dementia patients, especially
yes,
our relatives and dear friends.
yes, yes,
Yeah, that's really great to know. But I think before we get into whatever you're doing for the community, I think we need to learn more about you. Like, for example, where you came from the Philippines, how did you come to the United States, and how long you've been here. And other than doing this philanthropic, service to the community, what other things you do?
yeah. Well, I could say I come from a family in Pangasinan in Dagupan. I'm a very active member of the uh, how do you call this Pangasinan organization here
Uh-huh.
in Southern California in the USA. But I grew up in Manila,
Mm-hmm.
in Novaliches. Novaliches. I had my elementary and high school, and my college. I'm a graduate of the New Era University in
Mm-hmm.
1984. I
Mm-hmm.
graduated mass communication, but now I'm in line with business. But communication, you use it anywhere. I thought I want to be a broadcaster before because I had journalism as a major. But then
Wow.
yes, I love to write.
Uh-huh.
But then I got sidetracked to business. And then
Mm-hmm.
before migrating here, my career centered around more than 25 years in commercial property management.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the Philippines, you would see the malls that I handled. I was with the SM Group,
Uh-huh.
yes, So during my time, it was, I think I put up SM Fairview, uh,
Oh, wow.
managed SM North EDSA.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was a regional manager, so I was handling several malls, and then I put up my own company to handle shopping centers. But eventually, my kids really wanted to study here and migrate. So I said, okay, why not? And then I got this opportunity through Mr. Luciutan through Philippine Airlines that I could work with them. So
Mm-hmm.
I worked with them, and through that I brought all my children here
Mm-hmm.
and started my life all over again.
Wow,
So
what an interesting story. And I can relate because I took mass comm journalism at UP College Baguio first before becoming a nurse. So it has also been my passion. So I can relate to that. And I thought I would become a broadcaster too.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
it's so glamorous. They say it's so glamorous, but
Yeah.
sometimes unless you become really like a Corina Sanchez,
Mm-hmm.
it's really a tough world out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I said business will be, I think, more profitable at that time. So
Mm-hmm.
if I will continue about my story, I migrated here in 1999.
Wow.
And then my children followed after 2 years. My first job was to be a karaoke master
That's
Wow.
because
wow.
nobody's going to sing. Everybody was like, I was like, okay, so you're gonna sing? Because I said, why don't I get? Somebody offered me, you know what? You're just gonna work for 3 hours, and
Mm-hmm.
then the pay at that time was $70. But then, okay, I said, well, I will get paid while doing what I like, and I could have a
Mm-hmm.
night out. So it's just maybe 3 times a week. So I said, why not? The thing
Mm-hmm.
is, I was paid $70 for the 3 hours, but my tips run to hundreds. And my mom, and I would go home at 12 midnight, and my mom would say, you have to stop that. Because you know what? You are like, our moms, you're just like, you work at night.
Mm-hmm.
You're an executive. Stop that. You're like they call it parang kang hostess. So and customers follow me at home because they think some of them will always say, "Are you a movie star in the Philippines?" And I would say,
Wow.
"No, but I was a former bold star," and they will all laugh. So that's my first job. I did it for maybe for 2 months until I stopped, and I started working for other odd jobs until I was able to get backtrack
Mm-hmm.
into back to the corporate world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So after that, what kind of job did you get into?
After settling my kids here, I went back to the Philippines to work as
Oh.
a managing consultant for the Lucio Tan group of companies. Traveled with Mr. Tan all over the world, fired executives for him. It's really a glamorous but very well traveled. However, in 2008, my mom told me that I have to start, because I would stay 2 months in the Philippines and 2 weeks here. I did that for 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I lived in a hotel. I didn't have a house because everything I sold before when we migrated here. But in 2008, my mom said that if you do not stay here, stay put in Los Angeles, you will be a grandma soon. That scared me because my mom said that my kids were you're going out of the window at night, going out with their friends. And I realized my kids are
Mm-hmm.
getting to be teenagers. So that scared me in 2008. So I stayed put. I said, forget that high flying adored job, let me stay put. However, I can't find a job because that was the real estate bust. That was the time nobody was hiring. My how would I say, specialty is into commercial property management, and that real estate was really down at that time. So I said, somebody told me, "Do you want to take care of old people?"
Mm-hmm.
And they offered me $150, and I said, "Well, that's gonna pay the bills." So you know what? From a corporate executive, I became a caregiver, and my first day, I dealt with poop, pee, and vomit. And I cried and I said, "What such a loser, Ellen? What happened to you?" And I called myself between walang ningning for the love of my children. I will have to go down to that level.
Oh,
But
wow.
the first night I went to sleep, I had a smile in my face because before I left home on my first day, this this client, I call her Amanda, told me, "You're so good at what you do. You're so smart. You know, you're doing all of this. You have such." I could see the fluidity. That's what she's telling me, and at the back of my mind, yes, because your caregiver is a former executive. You know, but
Mhm,
I went home. I was so exhausted, but I was so happy because I made a difference in someone else's life. On
mhm,
the second day, I dealt again with poopy and vomit, but this time I was happy because I was helping someone. And Amanda kept on telling everybody that I was so good.
mhm,
And she said that, "Oh, just work for me." But I said, "No, I'm just a reliever." And
mhm,
then, day in, day out, until I got this client, Mary Hurst. She's one of the last heirs of the Hurst family. And she said, "You know what? You're so good at what you do. Why don't you make it as a business?" And I
mhm,
said, "Yeah, why not?" So that gave me an inspiration. I went to study CNA. I studied everything. And I said to myself, "You know what? I'm doing more than caregiving. It's going beyond wiping butts. It was giving showers to seniors. I was doing more than that. I was talking to the doctor, coordinating this, doing that. I was the executive secretary, the cook, everything."
mhm,
So I said, "Yeah, this is more than caregiving." And I researched. And there's what you call the geriatric care management, to
mhm,
which I really thought of getting. So I went to seminars, I got the accreditation, I followed number one person, Tipa Snow. Tipa Snow is the number one when it comes to dementia care. I followed her to Seattle, and then I went to, I can't remember, Colorado, to yeah, to attend her workshops and accreditation. So, and then I got my international council certification to handle dementia.
mhm,
It started like doing this dementia up close. It was just a PR stunt. I said, if they know that I talk and I know what I'm talking about, I can get clients. That
mhm,
was it's a business. But
mhm,
then as I went along and I saw I'm helping people and making that impact, I said, no, this is something people need. I never had sponsors. I just did it out of the goodness of my heart. My company did it. But then little by little, I'm getting all these responses from people, and then especially during I get invitation from churches, everybody, and I even go to the houses when there's like family
mhm,
fighting because they don't know what to do with mom. I
mhm,
go, and sometimes if they're a friend, I don't charge. I really don't charge. I love doing it, but eventually, it caught up. Like they told me that I need to do this in a way that it could be, how do you call that, sustainable.
mhm.
So a few years back, I am now getting invitations. You're getting paid, you're getting sponsored. And now, right now, the Dementia Up Close and Personal is actually going around cities already. I'm
Mhm.
going to Portland, I'm going to Miami, Florida, the Philippines, maybe in Czech Republic and in Italy. So
Wow.
little by little, the advocacy turned to not really a full-time business, but you're paid for doing what you love best.
Yeah.
That's the story of American Geriatric and dementia up close and personal. Yeah.
Wow, that is so impressive. I mean, that Tess, what can you say? I'm like, I'm speechless. This is
Well,
very,
when you listen to her,
yeah.
you just get mesmerized, and
Mhm.
you just nakanganga ka na lang.
Yeah, I know. Very
Because you just want
inspiring.
to absorb
Uh-huh.
all the energy, all the information that she partakes
Yeah.
with the listeners.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Even with my
Ellen.
eyes closed, when you say dementia, like, oh yeah, yeah. Even in like, say for instance, in the airplane, when I find
Mm-hmm.
somebody like an adult child who has a mom, and like, and they would say, and then they end up telling me everything. And I would love to. Here's my card. It's not a business or what. I don't. Hey, can you afford me? No, no. That's the reason why I do not charge. All my seminars are free.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like, oh, you have to pay this, you have to pay. No, they're free. But we have very good donors and sponsors who have been supporting this. And yeah, I'm using this now as a how do I say? I'm using this now as a way to reach more people.
Mm-hmm.
Way to reach more. I always say this is a free seminar, but you know what? You have to pay me back. You have to tell people what you learned here.
Mm-hmm.
Become dementia awareness advocates. You should know how to talk to your parents. The you are aware of the pitfalls in family dynamics after a diagnosis, and
Yep.
you have to also protect your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, dementia will destroy your family and destroy your sanity. That's my battle cry to people.
Wow.
And Ellen, um, it's also great timing because a lot of those hardworking Filipinos are now getting old, and the younger ones are now noticing that their moms and dads are they're losing it,
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't understand that it's the beginning or the onset of dementia, and
Mm-hmm.
they
yes,
get frustrated. So what do you tell them? I have listened to some of your talks, and
yeah. When, say, for example, your mom at this age, in the Philippines, the onset of these chronic illnesses are earlier,
Mm-hmm.
because I always say the extra rice. Stop eating extra rice.
Uh-huh.
Because too much carbohydrates turn to sugar, and
Uh-huh.
sugar, a diabetes could really lead to Alzheimer's. I
Yeah.
always tell that. I'm not a doctor, but they can read about it. But if it happens that your mom is exhibiting symptoms like getting mad right away, there's changes in personality, I
Mm-hmm.
always say when they start repeating themselves. They just said this and they're gonna repeat it again and repeat it again, or there's a sudden change in demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
Medyo, you have to, well, don't label them right away. Only a doctor can diagnose dementia. Only a doctor. However, there are some symptoms that you telltale signs, and if in case, bring them to the doctor. Or there is some that's in the internet what you call the SAGE, self-administered neurological exam, wherein you could check whether you already have the symptoms. But if in case it's positive, go to the doctor. If it's negative, maybe your mom is just sick, or she has uh, UTI, or dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's some telltale signs, there's number one rule in dementia care: no reality orientation.
Mm-hmm.
Say no reality orientation. If she says that the wall is red, even though it's white, yes, it's red, because that's how the failing brain is seeing the white wall.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't know how to talk to her, you will be a bad guy. When you become a bad guy, you will get disinherited by Lola. Because you're always, lagi kinokontra. Don't contradict. Maybe redirect. That's why when we go to, I always advocate, go to the seminars. I don't teach anything medical. The practical reasons how to talk to Lola and Lolo. But you are not doctors. Do not just label anyone ay ulyanin. They think ulyanin is normal. No, it's not. It's brain failure.
Mm-hmm.
So you could just imagine that this person you're talking to, if she's really diagnosed, will die a very lonely death, because she doesn't know who she is, and she will not know who you are. But there's what you call a science. There are ways on how to talk to them and change the family dynamics to adapt to that situation. In
Mm-hmm.
that way, you could save your relationships with your brood and your family, and it will keep your sanity. Yeah.
Yes,
that's right.
yes. I know because you cannot, one of the things is you cannot reason out with someone who has it.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh no, you
And no
can't.
matter, yeah, no matter what you say, they're not gonna get it because it's their brain not working, not functioning normally anymore. So it's
Plus,
like,
if you
Yes.
if
yeah.
you argue with somebody who has the onset of dementia or has dementia, you are still seething while
Mhm.
the other person has already forgotten that he was
Yes.
arguing with you.
In
You are,
Filipino, we say asartalo.
uh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Asartal. We just have to see every situation from their perspective. You
Mhm.
sometimes it takes sometimes it's easy said but than done. But if you try to put yourself in their shoes, you will understand why.
Mhm.
You'll understand. That's the reason why when we have clients, in American Geriatric, we always tell the caregivers before they're assigned or to this client, you have to know who she is. Was she a teacher before? Was she an engineer? And if in case, uh, what are the backgrounds? And you know who are in these pictures, because eventually, this is how you redirect the person by knowing where she's coming from. That's
Mhm.
what I teach also in the workshops. Yeah.
Wow, I would love to attend a workshop of yours.
Oh
I'd
yes,
like to
yes.
learn a lot. That would be great. Yeah, but so other than your American dementia or
Geriatric.
organization
Ano,
geriatric,
yeah.
yeah, what other things do you do? I know you became certified too as Jan Maxwell speaker, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Well,
Yeah,
actually, before you
I
answer that, Miss Ellen, before you answer that, I think we're gonna go for a break.
okay.
Okay. Thank
we'll
you.
see you in a bit.
See ya.
Hello to everyone from Roof Chamber Radio. I'm encouraging all of you to stay here, stay in this chamber. If you want to be inspired, you want to be encouraged, this is where it's at. And we're all going to need this, especially, in this new year that we're in. We don't know what's up for tomorrow, we don't know what's going to happen next week or next month. But I believe that when you gather with people who believe in the power, the faithfulness, and the goodness of the Lord Jesus Christ, there is power in that in itself. So stay here, stay in the roof chamber radio. Be inspired, be encouraged, and let's all go through life not on our own and more than just with each other, but let's speak the faith, let's share the faith, let's live by faith, and let's walk by faith. God bless you all, everyone from Roof Chamber Radio.
Welcome back. We're back. We're back. Yeah. So, can you talk to us about your certification too as a speaker with Jan Maxwell?
Yeah, the John Maxwell, I just got it in order from because John Maxwell, he's one of the best guys. I have been reading all his books, leadership, and but I tried to segue the leadership in towards handling family dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also using what I learned from him in COFAC, the Coalition of Filipino American Chambers of Commerce. So for me, being a Jan, it's not something like I always say, oh, I'm from Jan Maxwell or to add to the prestige, but I follow his rules. And
Mm-hmm.
if his leadership principles, they really work. And to think also that he anchors whatever he says to God. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's a pastor. He understands how life is difficult without the blessings of God. No matter how good you are with your techniques, if you're that those info or those teachings are not powered by faith, I don't think John Maxwell will be good. So more on I use that for my family dynamics and in the Chamber of Commerce, not really business counseling. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good. Anyways, we would like to encourage our viewers again. Please give us any question, or if you have any comments or anything, just shoot out. I mean, shout out there. Then let us know. Okay, we would love your participation in the show.
Yeah.
So, creating this the American Geriatric, what challenges did you encounter? Because I know it's not easy. I mean,
No, it's not.
especially this big of a project that you have. I mean, what are the challenges that you had gone through?
The challenges is that I didn't have enough capital at that time, but
Mm-hmm.
you know um, I put up American Geriatric. I didn't have capital except my guts and my faith,
Mm-hmm.
and this, and to make a difference in people's lives. From one client, two clients, three clients, we are a geriatric care management company. We
Mm-hmm.
are also a caregiving company, but we're not more into. We're actually helping families navigate. We tell families, "Oh, this doctor is not good. You might like to change, or this insurance company, you might get better benefits with this, or this is a good hospital,
Mm-hmm.
or we're just somebody, the objective person in the middle, in the myriad of issues that's being discussed by the siblings. That's what we do. But there's so many challenges, like the problem with American geriatrics. So that's why we're slowly giving up the caregiving part. Is because we were asked by the government, particularly in California, to be in compliance with a lot of issues, and they were. The problem is they are not policing the direct contractors who are getting the clients from us without any oversight. So when a senior, a family, they wanted a caregiver, oh, she's mura. She's mura, so I'm just gonna get that mura, and then but they don't know that this caregiver might sue them,
Mm-hmm.
because you cannot fire them, because they would say, hey, you didn't pay my overtime, or I broke my back. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's the reason why you have agencies. But it is so hard to compete with the government giving you compliance, strict compliance, and then the small ones, the people who are not even registered, who are not even trained, they dive down the rate. So we said, you know what, better work with those caregivers rather than hire them. So we went to just care management.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
But also, what I did when it's really kind of tough in that business, we
Mm-hmm.
put up another company. We also are doing this in the Philippines. If you want your mom to go home to the Philippines because you're so busy, we will take care of them in the Philippines.
I was
We
about
will
to
help
ask you
you.
that.
We
Wow.
will help you. Like, say, for example, you're a nurse. Your mom is already aging. She's at home. She might burn the house. Or you know what? Sometimes she's talking to a lot of dead people. You don't know what to do. The thing is, do you know why she's talked to a lot of dead people? Because she's not talking to anyone, and it's her memory trying to entertain her. But if you bring her home, we will give her the caregiver, we will take care of her. If you want the family to take care of her, you're like pinsan, ate, kuya, we will teach them at the same time, do the oversight. They will not report to you, they will report to us, so that you don't become the bad guy. Because
Mm-hmm.
the reason why there are some seniors who are being abused,
Mm-hmm.
it abuse is because they are being handled by caregivers who are not trained.
Mm-hmm.
So we will help you whether you want to bring them in a retirement community, you want to buy a property, we'll fix the property, she can stay there and put a caregiver. We will also teach your kamag-anak on how to take care of her. We are the care management company. That's also American Geriatric. We do the business model here, we do it in the Philippines. That's why I always go home, because we have clients that we manage. So
Mm-hmm.
we have what you call the uwi na tayo, let's go home. We
Yes.
have a program.
So,
Now,
Ellen,
yes.
do you have a facility in the Philippines that you bring this balikbayans to?
No, I don't want the facility. We could always refer them. However, what we're thinking is the best place is actually if
Home.
they still have a home. If
Mm-hmm.
there's still some people, if in case gusto nyo magtipid and want to give the family earnings instead of paying us,
Uh-huh.
maybe we will teach them. You pay us to watch if it's being done right.
Mm-hmm.
We will put in the system, like you have to, like you have a cousin named Nene, you have to write down every day to check the vitals and everything. You
Mm-hmm.
have to input in this application, and you know that there's a camera always, so you can't really shout at mama because we would see, they would see.
Oh.
There is an oversight on whatever you're doing. It is because if in case we are the objective person, it eliminates the
Mm-hmm.
drama. Because you know what? Oh, they don't understand dementia. And, she keeps on, ang kulit-kulit, she's always repeating hers because they're not trained. But if the family knows that there is a care manager
Mm-hmm.
checking, and the doctor goes to the house, making sure that all doctor's appointments are being attended to, and making sure that the medications are done and picked up, and she doesn't have any sore at the back, things like that. That's us. That's American Geriatric Manila. That's
So,
what.
Ellen,
Yes, ma'am.
so the family from the US wants to send their relative to the Philippines for for your company to take care of them,
Mhm.
or become an advocate for them.
Yes,
Who pays for it? The family from here?
the
It's
family from here, because you
pays
pay
here.
American Geriatric, not in Manila. We have it's us. It's an American company you're talking to. Talking
Okay.
to not there, because you don't know people there. You are talking to American Geriatric. It's us. We will negotiate it here. Payments are made here, everything, and we make sure that you have all the data that you need. You want to check her 24 hours. There's an app that you can go to. We install cameras.
So
Make
they're
sure.
monitored. Wow, they're
Yes,
monitored.
monitor.
Yeah. So do you offer that service only to balikbayans, or you also offer them to afford, people in the Philippines who can afford this kind of service?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Perfect.
Because, there was a story also.
Mm-hmm.
She was one of the top women, in the Philippines, and owned a
Mm-hmm.
big string of business. And then
Mm-hmm.
she had dementia. You know what they did? They just put her in the basement of a hospital because they don't know how to handle her.
Oh my God.
And if in case those the rich ones, oh, they'll just let the katulong take care
Mm-hmm.
of the senior who has dementia, who in turn abuse them
Mm-hmm.
because they don't know dementia. They're not equipped with what the knowledge or the skills that are needed to handle situations like this. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I always say, do not let the yaya take care of them. The yaya could maybe uh, wash the clothes, do other things. But if they're not trained for dementia, do not, because definitely she's gonna go crazy, and she will definitely abuse the patient any way that what she is not available. She doesn't know how to,
Mm-hmm.
like, maybe because she's already so pissed, she would shout at her. Or maybe, like, what, okay, have you seen how abuses were done? Because these are caregivers who were never trained to handle that. So
And
that's
it,
what we're doing in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
and how what happens to those? Talking about those people with dementia in the Philippines who cannot afford geriatric care. Those who are from the, from
Squatters.
the laylayan ng bayan,
Yes, 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 exactly. Yeah. That's the
what
reason
program
why.
can they avail?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. That's the reason why, if you've seen my videos, I go and conduct these free seminars. So that's why I would suggest, maybe with the Philippine Nurses Association, when you do, how do you call this, medical relief, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Medical, yeah,
Information.
medical
Yeah.
missions
The
or
medical mission,
apo.
put the, how do you call this, put the mental health also, because
Mm-hmm.
this is mental health. And I would love to join you guys and teach.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time I went to a certain barangay. I
Mm-hmm.
said to my classmates, okay, I'm gonna do it in the barangay hall.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, okay, tell them if they have, I would love to help. So I said, so you just put me a microphone, and around 600 people showed up.
Wow.
and, then- and there's no microphone. I
Mm-hmm.
ended up talking with a megaphone.
Okay. The megaphone.
The megaphone, and I said to everybody, put me in the middle. For 1.5 hours, I was talking to them, telling them, this is how you talk to them when they have dementia.
Mm-hmm.
This is dementia. And you know what? It was so moving. It was so moving because they never realized that mom or Lola died a very lonely person because she didn't know how to talk to them. Because a lot of seniors at end stage of dementia, they stop talking.
Mm-hmm.
Not because they became deaf already, or mute. It's because they already gave up. Because you are actually abusing them without knowing it, because you don't know the language that's
Mm-hmm.
needed. in order for them to feel good and to for you to communicate across whatever you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. That's how serious this problem is. A person who has been so good to you, sent you to school, gave you life, and then just because you don't know dementia, you made her leave this world the loneliest person on earth. You don't know how it is. Put yourself in their shoes. Who are these people who are not taking care of me and who are always telling me I'm stupid, I'm crazy, and I'm lying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they will never talk anymore. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's the advocacy of the dementia up close and personal. As much as possible, less seniors dying very lonely,
Mm-hmm.
which you can just send off like in the last moments of their lives. They can be happy. They even though they don't know themselves, they feel comfortable with the people because they we know how to talk to them. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what I always tell our families. There's a way to. There's a science to it, and uh, especially when it runs in your family. Whatever you did to your mom might happen to you if you did not. I believe in karma. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I hope that I come across when I go there. But that was funny. I was holding a megaphone. How I wish I had a picture. Yeah.
They
So
must have.
do you train po like people that help educate? Do you have like a staff that you train them or you certify them, or how
Yeah,
does?
I just train and I will help. Especially I want to do that for nurses in the Philippines because geriatric care management is non-existent in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Last trip I went there, I talked to several congressmen and some influential friends, and I said that if
Mm-hmm.
we could do this on a national level, if we could have a dementia day. I talked to Congresswoman Mila Magsaysay of the Senior Citizens Party list. Like, can we have like a decree on a national dementia awareness day, and what if we could include those programs in the barangay levels so that people would know, because right now there's none, typically none. You have a dementia association in the Philippines, but they're all doctors.
Mm-hmm.
They're more on the clinical diagnosis.
That's
But this
right.
one, there's nothing like this.
There should
So
be a, yeah, a shared governance, like from
yes,
families, caregivers, and yeah,
yes, yeah,
different
yeah,
advocacies. Yeah, that's wow.
yeah.
It seems to be a really big program, but it's so big, but just helping one life at a time makes a really great difference,
Yes,
right?
yes, exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
So how
Yeah.
do families respond to the program that you've been offering?
So far, right now, because we launched just that maybe 3 months ago, but we've been doing it before, but we never advertised. But now we are actually advertising it. That if we would love to help,
Mhm,
so far we have several what that we sent already in the Philippines. That's why
mhm,
I have to go home, put them in September together with my dementia up close and personal seminar series there.
mhm,
But hopefully, as we go along, with this uwi na tayo next year, hopefully with Houston, Texas, we are thinking of the uwi na tayo, how do you call that, convention.
mhm,
Let's go home. I want to go home actually. We can go home, but the problem is right now the government in the Philippines, there's nothing in place. There's nothing. There's no, how about the insurance or what do we get out of it?
mhm,
Is how is the professional caregiving in the Philippines?
mhm,
How will be our medic? How are our medic? What are the, if in case we want to bring in here in America, we want to bring in um, investments to help this, but
mhm,
what do we get? Do we get tax breaks, everything? So it's really a big thing. So, but just for me, creating that awareness for now, my humble self. Hopefully that me talking and talking about it, talking to congressman, hopefully I could have soon. I was offered to do one in Malacanang,
mhm.
but I didn't have the time the last time. But when I go home this time, I will have dementia and I will invite the big wigs, spend
Mhm.
my own money for it, and I just want to let them sit down and listen. Now
Yes,
I
yes.
got your attention. Would you help me? That's what my plan when I go home in the Philippines.
Yes, po.
This,
And it can start even with just one person, but it can spread out,
yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. We have a comment from Olivia Olive. Yeah, she says that most Filipinos thought that dementia is a simple pagulyanin moment and not a serious illness. Yeah, that is,
Yeah. Oh, dementia is brain failure.
yeah.
It's brain failure, and 70 or 60% of dementia is the umbrella. Under that are different kinds of dementias, and
Mhm.
Alzheimer's, which is the brain shrinkage, is actually 60%, and fast catching up is actually the vascular, the stroke.
Stroke, yes.
Yeah, and then we have the protemporal and what else? There's another one I forgot. See, I'm
Mhm.
having a senior moment too. But there are a lot of kinds of dementia.
Yes, that's right.
So, Ellen, if you know of somebody, let's say you have a friend or a relative who you know has the onset, he's seeing doctors. What what games or what practices or uh, what can you do with them to keep their
Brain
minds
active.
engaged? What
Yeah,
exercises?
yeah. It depends on what they really like. Because we could tell them to play Scrabble, but they never played Scrabble in the. To let them continue with what they're doing, enjoying,
Mhm.
stimulate the mind. The mahjong, the mahjong can help.
Yeah, so Tita
Mahjong,
Tess
yes,
is
yes.
doing it, right?
Yeah, you can do it. The only thing is makes watch the blood pressure,
Uh-huh.
the physical, and also sometimes you have to always when you go to the doctor, if in case you bring a senior to the doctor, ask them how is their vitamin B12 and D levels. Because when you're a senior, you just you just stay home. You don't want to go out because you're afraid you don't know the people outside. That's scary. So
Mhm.
I don't get vitamin
D.
D and I don't have B12. That mimics depression if you are low in that
Yes.
in those vitamins. So the problem with seniors, that's why I think for me I'm not a doctor, but I would say that depression accelerates it.
Mm-hmm.
The depression accelerates that. So they should go out. That's why it's very important you know how to talk to them. Like when you go
Socialize.
out, oh, let's go out. I won't go out because
Yeah.
I'm afraid. But if you make them feel comfortable and you go out, oh, let's walk, or give them something to be busy of, and refrain from telling them problems. I was telling my friend a while ago. I said we have to block off some people from a client's phone book because they keep on calling about their problems in the Philippines to her. See, the
Yeah.
chismis like, because we have a Filipina client and she's okay now, and then suddenly the next day, what happened? Because all her relatives in the Philippines are telling her every problem that they have. So we
Uh-huh.
said, who are those who called? Okay, block, block, block. She didn't realize we just blocked them.
Oh my
It's
God.
for her mental health.
Yes, that's right. We have a question actually from one of our viewers. Tita Tess, you want to read?
Uh, Chell the Psycho
Mm-hmm.
wants to know: do you have geographic limitations in terms of your service? Can you provide the service wherever in the Philippines?
Yes, as long as there's Wi-Fi.
Okay. Yeah, because of
Yeah,
that
anywhere.
security, the money.
Say,
Yeah.
for example, we have to find a caregiver, like, say, for example, a grandma. We cannot find a caregiver from Manila, but maybe in the area, we'll try to find one and train that person. But we'd rather love to train a kamag-anak
Mm-hmm.
first
Mm-hmm.
first. And then as long as there is tech, we harness technology.
Mm-hmm.
Technology is very important, but we still go and we make sure that before we start with like an assessment. How is she? What's her medical history? What will we do? Blah blah blah. What are your expectations? Then after that, basing on that, we would actually visit the place.
Mm-hmm.
Who will be with her? Who will be blah blah? And then we will make a recommendation. If you say this will be your cost, and then after you say it's a go, then it's a go. But
Mhm.
everything first is done through, we don't charge for that. We don't charge for that. But when we you say that it's a go, you will get every the royal treatment, a full service care management for your senior. Yeah, as long as there's Wi-Fi, we're gonna go.
Wow, that's great. Before we move on, I think we're gonna go for another break.
Okay,
We'll be back.
thank you.
Wow. All right. Welcome back again. And it has been very interesting topic that we have. And it's like, oh my gosh, we're like at 52 minutes. We didn't even notice the time just went by so fast.
Yeah.
But before we, of course, before we want your final message, can you tell us about other involvement in the community? Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that you
Uh,
have.
Aside from, I also am into business. I partly own myowneva.com. MyOwnEva is an executive virtual assistant company. We say my own Eva. Yeah, because way back 2016, 2015, I started doing that already, but then the need got highlighted when the pandemic hit.
Mhm,
So right now we are servicing mostly
mhm,
and small businesses, and we are good at what we do when it comes to doing videos,
mhm,
management. We do everything actually,
mhm,
and we're known for our very personalized work.
mhm.
Not just we call our girls not just virtual assistants. One Eva is equivalent to three, and most of our staff are cum laudes and dean's listers in
Wow.
schools in top schools in the U.S. in the Philippines. Yeah,
Mhm,
so we're very very not just because you can speak English and you can have
mhm,
you know the apps. No, that's the
mhm,
reason why these people they write speeches. I think COFAC and the other organizations have seen how we work, and if you've gone to the Power Up Convention, that's the job. We are the major sponsor for that. We did everything for COFAC, and another one is COFAC. That's I'm busy with COFAC.
mhm.
As a
Yeah.
vice president, senior vice president, I'm helping this organization that from five now became we're nearing 40. And I told Jerry and the group, let's stop counting. Because it's so hard to let's not put how many because it's so hard to make copies. We have to change and change and change. Yeah,
Mhm.
we're nearing 40 chambers of commerce and organizations all over the US, and eventually the MIMAM, that make it happen, make us matter, is actually an idea that Jerry challenged me to. And then when I presented to the board for approval, they liked it. So now MIMAM is the reason why COFAC exists. We
And
to be there. It's our why,
Mhm.
making it matter, making it happen, making us matter as Filipinos. So I would love to be remembered for that legacy, for aside from my dementia, and also COFAC. I just love COFAC. Yeah.
and
Wow.
really, Kofac has gone this far because of your hard work between you and Mr. Jerry Palon,
Mhm,
And
you
the founding board. Yeah.
and the board of directors.
Yes.
You have just done a wonderful job. And before we go, I have one question about, dementia management. What, who are the other professionals or practitioners that you should partner with when you are planning? When the doctors, the nurses, the attorneys, estate
Yes.
planners.
Accountants.
I
Yeah.
want to.
Trust people.
Mhm.
The banks,
Mhm.
you partner with them, you work with them actually. You
Mhm.
work with them because you are the person talking to the senior. In fact, you are the main, how would I say, you are the main referral source of these people. You
Mhm.
make recommendations to the family. You are the ones executing everything on behalf of the family, thinking about the welfare of the senior, not for anybody but the senior. Yeah. There's when you attend my workshop, you I will teach you on how to talk to them, how to prepare for your dementia, and how to put your documents. That's why I would love to work with Attorney Eileen for Texas, because
Mhm.
it's very important not for Uncle Sam to decide on your fate, on how you will be taken care of when, because you did not do anything. And
Mhm.
that's so selfish for people to leave a lot of inheritance behind and let the family, grab each other's necks for it. That
Mhm.
is so selfish. It has to be written, and even your plan of care needs
Yes.
to be written and clearly defined. So yeah, hopefully if you have dementia, we have that dementia. If you want to host one, just give us a call and
Mhm.
call our chambers of commerce, because I rather do it with them.
Mhm.
But I would love to. It could be a fundraising event for the for the community and the chambers of commerce. That's which we we're doing now. And if in case I'm just a text or a phone call away, I might not answer, but text me so I can, or send me a PM. I answer PMs through Facebook
Mhm.
and Instagram. If you have questions. Yeah. Thank you.
That's
Well, thank
great.
you so much, Miss Ellen, for that very great information or vast information about dementia. And I know we still have to learn a lot about it, but
Yes.
thank you for the overview. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Any final words to our viewers?
Yeah. This is for Actually, this is for families.
Mhm.
Don't take dementia lightly. It's, how would I call it? It's a curse or something coming. You'd rather have cancer rather than dementia. So right now, if you love your parents, if you love someone, and you think that they are going through it, prepare. Learn, because it will pay off. It will pay off, and please join us in our advocacy for dementia awareness. And if you could help and spread this word, if in case let's host an event in your area, and then you become a full-fledged dementia awareness advocate. Yeah. Not for you, but for your community and for whoever needs it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh
you.
Thank
yeah.
you. We actually have another comment here. Great job, said Miss Margarita Tron, Ate
Hi.
Margarita. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And then,
Thank
of
you.
course, a shout out from Olivia Olive again.
Yeah.
Many claps. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Paul. And then, before we end the show, of course, we're going to talk about our upcoming events. Tita Tess?
Sure. We have our summer biz mix. This is our business
Mhm.
get together one every other month,
Mhm.
and it will be held on July 20th at 6:30 p.m. at
Mhm.
our usual place at the Courtyard by Marriott in Stafford. Um, it is $20 for members and $30 for non-members. So please join us. And also,
Yes, and
the
also
next
the legal
one
treats. Oh,
is
well, it's actually, it says here legal treats on July 26th. This is a project of attorney Eileen Ligot Dizon, right? Where she's gonna actually have a session, a live session about legal matters. So you can join us too on July 26th. And of course, we have our dinner and awards night on November 4th. I'm so excited, Tita Tess. We have
Oh,
that.
yes, that will be our big gala night.
Yes, you're ready to dress up pretty. And of course, we're going to have fun with all dancing and awarding a lot of our members and non members some really great awards. And then,
And that will be held at the Marriott Marquis, downtown Houston, on November
Mhm,
4th. That's a
mhm,
Saturday. So
mhm.
come join us.
Yep, and we have our speaker series, the next one in August. It's about social security and maximizing benefits. It's going to be given to us by Mr. June Hugilon, one of our board members. So join us August 17 from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Courtyard by Marriott in Stafford, Texas. So join us again. These are just few of the benefits of becoming a member of our chamber. So again, thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Tita Tess.
Thank you again. Nice seeing you, MJ, and good
Yes.
night.
Yes, and join us again next. The next show is gonna be the fourth Thursday of the month. So please join us again. Good night, everyone.
Good night.